And joining us on the Raw Through North Pages guest line, one of my favorite people in the history of the planet ever. That includes everyone that ever existed. Ladies and gentlemen, Trey Thomas. What's going on, Trey?
Hey, man, just feeling like a fashion renegade today. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing pink in the wintertime. You know, like I asked the missus, I said, hey, babe, you know what? Is this okay to wear? She said, I don't know, babe. You know, it's pink. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? She says it's unseasonal. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just going to be a renegade today. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just throwing caution into the wind and just going to be just a fashion badass and wear my pink hoodie. It says that it's chilly outside, but it's still, you know, not too bad, you know, because it's light. You know, it's cool. Just a renegade right now.
I don't say it enough. I just miss you. That's all. And I like that you went, no, it's pink. And you didn't go like, oh, it's salmon.
No salmon. This is pink. It is pink.
It is pink. You know? It jumps out as pink. I will just say, and like, but hold on. I thought in Florida you just wear whatever the hell you damn want anyway.
That's what I thought, but the missus was like, you know what? No, that's unseasonal. Well, you know what? I mean, I want to feel like spring.
Does Florida? I don't know. You're a Florida guy. Like, does Florida have like do you guys have seasons?
Well, right now it's a little chilly in the mornings, man.
Oh yeah,
what is it? My morning walk, like what, 46? You know,
okay.
Like I got to put on a hoodie. You know, it's a little chilly.
Okay.
Like right now, I'm outside. It might be about 50, 60 some degrees. You know, it's nice, not too bad. You know, when I go for my walks along the water, you know, the little boardwalk there. You know, we're out there just perusing. You know,
yes, of course, yes.
A little chilly, you know, but not too bad. Not too bad. Enough to put some cocoa butter on your ankles. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you're moisturized because it is chilly enough to where your ass be out here ashy and people be talking bad about you can't have that. You know, it's you got to make sure you're moisturized.
Of course. You know, what am I, a barbarian? Come on. You know,
exactly. Cocoa butter, stay on point here, man. You got to stay moisturized.
2 minutes into the interview, I'm already tearing up. Do you walk around with a little thing of rosé while you got the pink on, running around and all that stuff?
Yeah, you know, I have paint on my hands right now from just painting earlier. You know, I've just been painting, you know, hanging out, pop a couple bottles of wine, just relaxing, you know, just chilling, man. Go walk along the water, you know, watch a little film every now and then, go mess around, you know. Chilling, man. You live a life like no other. You live a life like no other. Hey, you know that guy that you played for all them years, that Andy Reid fella? Yeah.
He's in another conference championship game. How'd that happen?
Hey, man, Big Red is out there just rolling right now, man. The team is just playing, you know, they get down to the Bills. I mean, and that was a really, you know, this is what I'm dealing with here now, you know, because I don't have cable here. You know, I just deal with, I cut the cord, you know what I'm saying? So I'm one of those guys now. I cut the cord. And I got these damn smart TVs, and I'm depending on Wi-Fi in an apartment complex. All right?
Goodness gracious!
Yeah, so you know, I get to the end of the game, and I'm sitting up here trying to watch the game, and then now all of a sudden I got this error alert, and now the wife is calling the cable company, and we're like, what's going on with the Wi-Fi? So next thing I know, I'm like, well, hey, they're winning, and then oh no, it's tied up, and then oh no, what's going on? Hey, now we're going into overtime, and then now I watch. Then we go out, and then now I just see the touchdown. I'm like, man, what is going on here? So I had to go back and watch the highlights and everything. But, you know, like, I think that his team is just, you know, Big Red does a really good job when you have so many athletes and so many personalities. He just does a good job of just, hey, man, just go be whatever you are. Go play the game. And I think that the guy is just, you know, when you have a team like that where you have the cheetah, you have a tight end out there that's just incredible, another Kelce out there just making big plays. And Mahomes is just doing his thing in the offensive line. You know, they had some moments where they had some breakdowns, but I think overall that the team just responded, man. They respond to Big Red, and he does a good job with his teams.
Like, so it's been a big note. Everyone's seen it on SportsCenter. Everyone's seen it across the country. The Kansas City Chiefs are hosting the conference championship game for the 4th straight year. The Philadelphia Eagles, 3 straight years, same coach. What is it about Andy Reid that makes him that great a coach?
I'm telling you, he manages personalities really well. And I think that he has a really strong staff around him that's going to come in there and they're going to put the game plan together. And I think what he also does, he allows his coaches to have some input in what's going on. It's not all just on him. He like, look, Airbnb, what are you seeing? Greg Lewis, what are you seeing? He's reaching out to everyone that's on that staff and allowing everybody to bring their ideas to the table. And when you have that collective of mindset where it's not all just on you, he's allowing everybody to bring something to the table. And I think that's what this team is really responding to. And I think that the players have some input on it as well. When you have players that is going to come in there, put in the extra work, because there's nothing else to do on Kansas City. I mean, there's not much to do. And those guys want to win. So they're like, look, man, whatever I need to do to come put this extra work in so that we can go out there and be successful, that's what they're doing.
All right. Now, before, and I know you saw that moment where he said to Patrick Mahomes, before Patrick Mahomes went onto the football field for that 13-second drive, he said, when it looks grim, be the Grim Reaper. Before that happened, though, not so big Red had a conversation with a very young first-round pick named Trey Thomas. Here it is for the people that
just take each play by itself, fight through each play, and get back in there.
I love the dramatic zoom at the end of that. What was that about? Why did that happen, and when did it happen?
Man, I think that if that's the clip that I'm thinking about, I think that was from Big Red's first training camp. And, man, his first training camp, all of his training camps were hard. But, I mean, it was physical. It was hot. All the grass had died, and we're up there in Lehigh, and it was just brutal. And, I mean, first of all, when you get to training camp, you had to weigh in, all right? So they give you these weights that you need to report at. So all of us that are heavy, we're all sitting around like, I can't eat until after I weigh in. I got, you might be on lettuce and water until you weigh in, and then you go hit the Wendy's down the street. So you come in there, you're all weak and everything, and then you weigh in, and then you have to run 16 half gassers. That's what starts you off at Lehigh. And then now the next 6 days are going to be tour days. I mean, full pads, full tilt. And I mean, it's tackle to the ground. And Big Red was not having it, man. And I think at that moment right there, I was really, leaning on scripture, just trying to get through, because Big Red was just on our neck, and it was just brutal, man. And I mean, he was just putting us through it. But I think that it helped us as a team to come together. You knew that those days were going to be tough. You knew that it was going to pull something out of you. If you've already put yourself to the test in practice, it makes the games a lot easier.
That clip, in all honesty, it says a lot about Andy Reid, because he didn't draft you, right? That was Ray Rhodes. So to go up to a first round pick like you and be like, and encouraging, and not like, well, he's not my guy, so what do I care? I thought that's one of the first things that jumped to mind when it came to that. And I know a lot of people, when they listen to you talk about Andy Reid controlling personalities and being able to manage personalities, everyone jumps right to T.O. and McNabb. He couldn't manage that. Well, apparently nobody could manage T.O.
No, there's no, man. Come on, man. T.O. Man, he told T.O. one time, listen, man, I need you guys to dress up for a game, so because we were traveling, put on a suit. T.O. came in there one day with a tuxedo T-shirt on, and I'm like, it says that, I like to party, but it's formal. Yeah. It's formal.
I want to be formal. Yeah,
I want to be formal, but I like to party. Yeah, I mean, he came in there with a tuxedo T-shirt. I mean, what are you going to do? What's next?
That was a road game?
Yeah, it was a road game.
Did you guys win?
I don't remember. All I remember is that he came in there with a tuxedo T-shirt on. I thought it was awesome. Wow. Wow. Look at this dude. Just really whatever. I don't care. I'm coming in here with a tuxedo T-shirt on.
That is amazing. That is up there with Coy Detmer and the one outfit from Target. You know what I'm saying?
One outfit. Yeah, that's it. No bag, no change of clothes, just a toothbrush and that one outfit. No spare underwear. It's just, do you flip them inside out? Do you Febreze them? How do you do? Even when we went to San Fran and we were there for a couple days, that one outfit, that was it.
A simpleton, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of stress on your underwear, man. I'm just trying to say, but anyway.
Yeah, there we go. But we digress. So let's talk about this Philadelphia Eagles team. And I'm asking everybody this question. I want to get your take on this question as well there, Trey Thomas, Eagles Hall of Famer that you are.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts. You've heard of him. You've watched him. You've studied him. What is he to you? Is he a guy that's definitely earned next year, or is he a guy you're looking to replace almost immediately? Who is Jalen Hurts to you? What's his ceiling?
I think that he's earned next year, and I think that he's going to continue to get better. The more he trusts the protection, you can see at times, especially in this Tampa Bay game, he got a little skittish at times, and that was one of his issues throughout the season, when he didn't feel comfortable with the protection, he would start to bail or start to move around when he didn't have to move around, and it caused him to miss throws. When you go back and you watch this Tampa game, I think Todd Bowles did an excellent job at the way he attacked him. And I mean, he was sending blitzes from opposite sides, making the running backs change it up. I think that Kelce made some, questionable decisions when it came to sliding the line, which put some pressure on Hurts. So, I think that they did a good job overall of attacking him. But I think that that's something that he's going to have to learn from it, and you have to look at it. He's still only in his second year. So I think that he's definitely earned next year. And, you got to give him a little bit more time to before you just write him off and just say, all right, you know what? He can never be that guy. And so everybody was questioning his arm. All right, then he goes out there and overthrows Watkins by 10 yards.
Yeah.
He says, look, I have the arm strength, but, it was just you overthrew him.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you just said there. I think he has the arm strength. It's just a matter of accuracy. I'll take a quarterback that has an okay arm, but is wildly accurate. Like a guy like Nick Foles, for instance, didn't have a hose. You know what I'm saying? But he could put it. He could thread the needle. It wasn't a matter of it wasn't a matter of accuracy. It wasn't a matter of arm strength. Excuse me. It was a matter of accuracy. That's something that he built on. Now, when it comes to Jalen Hurts, can you think of guys that progressed and learned how to read a defense as their career went on?
Yeah, I think every quarterback is going to have to do that. I think all quarterbacks have to go through that learning process, and there's no way that you could do it other than going through it. I mean, you have to be put in certain situations. You have to be able to see the defense. You have to go through some of those situations and understand the protection so that you can make those reads. So, and I think also you're going to have to, in practice, have to make him go through his reads. It can't always be, hey, you know what, my first read is there, you get rid of the ball. Sometimes in practice, you need to make sure you take away those first two reads to force him to get to the second and third guy. And I think that's something that's just going to have to happen in practice. And you're going to have to understand as a coach, how to force him into some of those certain situations to make him better as a player. Mm-hmm. And that's just something that he just has to go through. Every player is going to have to do it. Every quarterback has to do it.
I want to go back to something real quick here because you talked about the offensive line, talked about Jason Kelce sliding protections. What can he do more of in order to help his young quarterback, if he is in fact back next year at all?
Just make him feel comfortable in the pocket. Like I said, I felt like there were a couple times where, and I don't know if they went into the game plan a certain type of way. Sometimes you say, all right, you know what, we want to keep the running back off of this particular linebacker. So we're going to make sure that we slide the line to that linebacker, and then we'll let the running back go to the opposite side. I personally don't like protections where we send the running back across the quarterback's face, because that flash of color, even though quarterbacks feel like, all right, you know what, I don't see that. Yes, you do. You do. And anytime, and if that running back crosses your face and it's a true slide protection, that someone's coming from that side. And that's what causes the problem sometimes. To me, I felt like they slid the line to the wrong side instead of keeping the running back onto the, like if the running back is to the left, keep him to the left, slide the line to the right, but I don't know if that was a game plan situation or if it was just Kelce just saw something different and he made the call, but you have to live with it. But to me, I don't like sending the running back across the quarterback's face, because I do believe that flash of color will make him kind of like, it makes you stop a little bit. And you feel like it makes you rush a little bit because that something's coming because the running back had to go over there and pick it up.
So, in other words, the quarterback's back there, and it's almost like he sees that flash, and he goes, clock's ticking. Yeah. I got to get rid of this. That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Because he knows a blitzer is coming.
Right.
Because if the running back didn't have to cross his face, there's nothing coming. You know what I'm saying? Because all right, so let's just talk about this real quick. All right, so anytime we have protection, especially a slide protection, you have a dual read by the running backs, okay? So anytime the running back is in protection, that is slide protection. If the running back is out, we're in man, okay? So now, if you say, okay, you know what, running back, you're to the left. If we're sliding to the left, then now what that does is that puts the running back on a dual read on the mic to anything to the right. You see what I'm saying? So what the running back is going to do, he's going to check that middle linebacker, and then if something comes from outside, that's where he goes. So that's where I feel like, that's what caused the problem. If you know that you're in slide protection, if you see something coming, if that running back crosses his face, he knows the blitzer is coming because he knows that the running back is in dual read. if it were just a regular slide protection, you said, okay, we're sliding to the right, the back stays to the left. His dual read is from that middle linebacker to anything outside to the left. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, so that's just my quick little slide protection.
When you get real close to the camera and you sit up a little bit, I know we're about to break it down, my friend. I know we're about to break it down. Overall, you look at this offensive line. I want to ask you about Jordan Mailata first and foremost. I know we briefly touched on it the last time we spoke, but I just can't get over the fact that this guy never played football before. And now he's like flirting with a Pro Bowl nod maybe next year. Like some people look at it and say, oh, wow, he should have been a Pro Bowler this year, but this was the year you get robbed. And then you start building the reputation. What'd you make of Jordan Mailata's season?
I think he had a heck of a season. He's definitely getting better as a player. And one of the things that I like about Jordan is that he's starting to play with that aggression. It takes a little while to get that. You have to feel comfortable with your technique before you can start playing nasty. And right now you're starting to see him play nasty. He's taking guys out. He's pushing guys, giving that extra push, throwing guys to the ground, laying them out. And that's what you want to see as a left tackle. I think that he's starting to get that nastiness, which tells me that he's getting a little bit more comfortable with his technique. And he's only going to get better. I mean, the dude is 6'8", 350, whatever, and is 12% body fat. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's just massive. Anytime anybody bull rushes him, that's a waste of time. So I think that as he continues to get better with using his hands and using his length, he's going to be unstoppable.
All right. Now, a lot of questions surrounding Jason Kelce as to whether or not he'll retire. It seems like it's that time of the year where it's the end of the season. So what happens to Jason Kelce? Let's just live in a world. I don't think he'll retire. Do you think let me ask you that question. Do you think he'll retire?
I don't think so. Especially if you just got 2 kegs of beer, man. Come on, man. If you just got 2 kegs of beer,
that's a good investment.
How can you retire off that? No, but I think that because I think this is one of his better seasons, and I think that one of the things that Kelce, it's a mental part right now for him. I think one of the things that he's going to have to make a decision on, it's not the physical part you can work through. I think it's the mental part that do you want to continue to get through the mindset that you have to get yourself to get ready to play week in and week out. And I think that, the way he played this year, I can't see him walking away from it this next year. I think he at least gives you another year to go out there and try to make a run for it.
He's still got a lot left in the tank is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. When you see him out there running downfield, leading the charge, that's impressive, especially for someone that's done it for so long and that is at the status that he is in right now. He could easily just say, you know what, I got this block, I'm good. You know what, I don't need to run upfield. No, he's leading the charge, trying to get downfield, trying to get that extra push. And when you have, and he's such a great leader on that team, I think that, he comes back for another year.
All right. Now let's live in a world where he doesn't. Is the future center of the Eagles on this team right now? Because I know a lot of people talked about Landon Dickerson possibly moving over to that, possibly Jason Kelce's replacement. Do you think Landon Dickerson could take over that role if Jason Kelce retires?
Absolutely. I think that, he was a center in Alabama. I think that, you brought him in to be that backup center. And, it was due to injury that you had to put him in there at left guard. And he's held his own out there at left guard. I thought that he was a heck of a player. He had a hell of a season playing at left guard, but I think that, if Kelce does step away from the game, that he would just step right in and be your center.
Mm-hmm. I got to ask you about 2 guys that I know that you know pretty well, Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson. Lane came back from his mental health issues, worked himself through that. We couldn't be more proud and happy for him. Brandon Brooks all of a sudden just disappeared. We didn't see him anymore. What do you think about the future of that right side of the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I think Lane had he had a really good season. He did battle back. Man, I am looking golden with all this light.
You look amazing.
Let me turn it down a little bit. I was looking golden, but I think Lane Johnson, he really had a really good season, man. He battled back from, like you said, with the mental issues, but I think that when he got back on the field, he was lights out, really played with good technique, shot his hands, and he's an enforcer out there on that offensive line. Now with Brandon Brooks, with the injuries, I'm not sure. There were reports coming out that, hey, he's retiring. I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet about it. I'm definitely going to reach out to him at some point. But, Of course, I would love to see him back out there on the field, but I mean, it is what it is. I think that this group right here, they found a way to gel, and they had a pretty solid season.
Definitely. When it comes to all the things that we talked about earlier with Andy Reid being able to lead a locker room, like Andy Reid was never a player, like never played in the NFL, right? Nick Sirianni had never played in the NFL. Doug Peterson obviously did and knew how to manage a locker room because he was a player. What does it say about guys like Andy Reid? What does it say about guys like Nick Sirianni for younger guys that took over teams that just knew how to identify with a young locker room right out of the gate?
Yeah, I think it says a lot. Where you understand the personalities, and now you have a good coaching tree that you're coming from. That understands, like, look, they're grooming you to be able to step into that role. And I think that was one. Now, first of all, Coach Reid came in there with an iron fist right out the gate. Look, these are the rules. This is what happens. Hey, as long as you play by these rules, we're good. Now if you step outside of these rules, it's going to be a problem. Know that. But I think that as he continued to progress, he started loosening up a little bit, and it would allow us to be how we were. I mean, I used to walk around all the time with a leather football helmet on, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it was okay. You know what I'm saying? And they looked at me like, well, there's Trey with a leather football helmet. I mean, he's in the meetings with a leather Eagles football helmet. But I mean, but I think that Nick Sirianni, like he did an awesome job too, just coming in, being a young coach, and he just really, whatever he did, just getting that locker room together. And the guys are responding to it. But I think that for you to do that, you have to have strong leaders on the team. Now, and I think that's where you have someone like a Kelce, or you have someone like a Lane Johnson, and guys on the other side of the ball that can step into that leadership role, the Brandon Grahams, guys that can step up and be that extra voice within the locker room. Then now it makes it a lot easier. I think when you look at Doug Peterson's success, when you got Malcolm Jenkins, Chris Long, and just the leadership within that locker room that year, I mean, it made it so much easier as a coach to just step back and steer the ship. That's all you had to do is just steer the ship because you had strong leaders within the locker room.
I have to ask you this. Do you have a Super Bowl prediction?
Man, you know what? Of course, I can't go against Big Red, man.
I mean, what am I doing? Sorry.
I mean, I can't go against Big Red, but I am enjoying what Cincinnati's doing, man.
I am too. I really am. I really enjoy watching them.
Yeah, it's Cincinnati. I like Burrow, man. I mean, he's just a hell of a quarterback. I like what their team is doing. To have a situation where no one ever texts a playoff win or anything, that they haven't, text messaging wasn't even invented at the time that they won their last playoff game. I mean, that's just amazing right there in itself, and I got Jeff Blake down here with me in Florida. So I always talk to him about what Cincinnati is going on, man. So nice. It's fun, man. I really like what's going on. But I got to go with Big Red, man.
Okay.
Big Red going to get him another one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Easy enough. I had another one for you, and it's escaping me right now, unfortunately. Two things real quick. When it came to this divisional round of the playoffs, is it up there with one of the best, or is it just hands down the best football you've ever watched?
I think this is hands down the best playoff football I've ever watched, man. This was absolutely amazing. All of these games, man, guys are taking it to the wire. I mean, you're winning. This was the year of the kicker. The David Akers around the world are just standing up. This is your year, kickers. I mean, it's been absolutely amazing, man. Teams have been laying it all on the line, and then, everybody talks about, we need to change the overtime rules. Just win the coin toss. Yeah, all right. I mean,
Okay. So that's where you stand on that. That was my next question. Yeah. So you're fine with the overtime rules as is?
I'm good with it. Do what you got to do. You had 13 seconds to stop them.
Yes, you did.
Cowboys fumbled that 13 seconds.
Wow. How about those Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? I got a neighbor down here. He walks his dog all the time. So one day he was like, "Yeah, how about them Cowboys?" I was like, when I saw him the other day, hey, yeah. How about them Cowboys?
And how are those Cowboys?
How are those Cowboys? I mean, but yeah, man. Yeah, I'm all for the overtime rules. I'm good with it. I mean, it is what it is.
All right, good enough. Good enough. Yeah. Trey, always great catching up with you. I know you're having your fun over there at IMG. My man, always great catching up. What's the artwork we're working on right now? What's out there?
I'm working on like another Valentine's painting, man. Some fluorescent paints where you hit it with a black light or the glow with a heart. It looks amazing. Yeah,
that
something I'm working on. Yeah,
it sounds lovely, and you're doing it in the golden hour. So there you go.
Yes. While I'm looking golden. You know?
Ladies and gentlemen, he's an Eagles Hall of Famer. You know him, you love him. Trey Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. Trey, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it.
Anytime, my brother.
The great Trey Thomas joining us on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line.